hard Zepbound stop, why the 60-week mark matters, part 2. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 106 pounds, and we're doing a car edition, doing a part 2 follow-up because I got so many questions on my 60-week mark edition that I did after 14 months of taking Zepbound and Mounjaro or GLP-1 medication. If you're on, this is applicable for our WEGOVY friends, so feel free to share this video if you've got friends on semaglutide or Tirzepatide compound 2. Of why we're seeing data-wise, and I will link down in the description link below a different article than I quoted on my first video on this, and feel free to see part 1 after this one too. But why we're finding the 60-week mark is hindering people's GLP-1 weight loss, and what we as GLP-1 patients can do about that, and setting proper expectations. If we don't know each other, I've been on Zepbound and Mounjaro and Tirzepatide compound the last 2 years. Tremendous success of losing over 106 pounds, going from morbidly obese to now I'm just considered, quote, overweight, but very soon will be considered in a healthy weight range with my BMI, completely changing my life. But we are finding with, and one of the first guinea pigs, so to speak, from being on GLP-1 medication, I have a very large community to help encourage and motivate you on a daily basis with your GLP-1 weight loss and continuing into maintenance. And I want to talk today about why the 60-week mark can be terrifying, and also why we're seeing why so many people are stopping medications as a result of this point. What we're seeing within the data is that at the 60-week mark, people are hitting a wall of not being able to lose weight after that. I personally have, and I want to share that with full disclosure, that there's so much we don't know, and that there's still so many scientific studies that do need to be done on this. This is not clinical trials need to be done on this. So take this for what it's worth to help spark the conversation, number one, with you and your healthcare provider. That's always my motivation for videos, is to help you talk with your healthcare provider. But for me, this information has been very, very validating and helpful of like, I'm not defective. Like as I go along more and more on GLP-1 medication, I'm like learning that I've never been defective. My body is fearfully and wonderfully made, and it's rocking its bad self here with GLP-1 medication and really doing its job. But there comes a point of where the medication, not that it's not working, and not that it stops working, because it is still working. It's just not working in the effectiveness as it did. And the erroneous mistake that I made is I have continued over the last 2 years to chase that first feeling I had the first week of being on GLP-1 medication. Don't do that. Set yourself up for a mess of disappointment that I can firmly attest. What we're seeing from the 60-week marker is that people, if they're not hitting their weight loss goals, which is me, I'm still not technically at a healthy BMI. Many of you have, and many of you are on maintenance in my free encouragement group, which I'll link down in the description link below, which is amazing. And I love it when people are hitting their goals. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the Countess of Shopping community who have hit their weight goals, but there's also thousands of people who have not hit their weight loss goals. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm at the 60-week mark, or I'm trying so hard and I'm not able to lose the weight. Now, I've lost the last 3 pounds, if you saw it from my other videos, my last weigh-in from 103 pounds to 106 pounds, because I got pneumonia. Literally, that's why, people are like, what happened? Pneumonia. It kicked my booty. I had the flu shot, I had my COVID vaccine, and I still got really bad flu, and then it turned into pneumonia, which is why I've lost the weight. This 60-week marker, though, because now I'm 2 years in, so I'm at 24 months, not the 14 months, so I'm 10 months past this point, is really changing expectations, is what we're seeing with the data, and what this article really talks about. Of we have got, as GLP-1 medication users, to start changing our expectations for a couple of things. And the reason why I said a hard stop is many people are stopping GLP-1 medication to have a restart with GLP-1 medication, which is working for some. We do know that 70% of people, when they stop GLP-1 medication, gain that weight back. That means only 30% of people are able to keep the weight off. However, people are finding that with that hard stop, that there is a reset that's going on within bodies to be able to restart back on medication. And many of you on my last video were like, I did that and it worked really well for me to jumpstart. Many of you also commented on that video of, I did that and it did not fare well for me. I gained a ton of weight, and I don't have that same appetite suppression that I did prior to stopping medication. I am on the highest dose, Zepbound 15 milligrams. I've been on Zepbound 15 milligrams and Mounjaro 15 milligrams, same medication. Both Tirzepatide, same dose, same manufacturer, just different FDA approvals. Zepbound is FDA approved for sleep apnea and obesity management. Mounjaro is FDA approved for type 2 diabetes. And so being on the highest dose for over a year now. So I was on all of the other doses for 1 year, and then the highest dose for the last year. I have had to really work on, and this is what the article talks about, expectations with my weight loss. I've had to take back more ownership over the medication was doing heavy lifting for me, figuratively and literally, for my weight loss. I've had to take more back over of, meaning I really had to refine my foods. I really had to refine my workouts, and really get into lifting. And this is where I want to caution you as a bestie. Bestie, I'm looking in your eyes. I want to encourage you, if you are taking GLP-1 medication and you're not working on changing your eating habits and changing your workouts for physical activity, like Eli Lilly tells us in our literature, we do need to make lifestyle changes. You are setting yourself up for some trouble when you hit that the 60-week mark. Now, everybody's body's different, so I don't like lumping anybody into anything, because obesity is a whole spectrum. There's a wide array of people at different levels with that, with different medical conditions. So just in general, with quotes, in general, we're seeing, the Amazon guys coming up with all my Amazon packages, which I'll do another Amazon haul video. I'll stay till the end and I'll talk about Amazon stuff at the end. But we're seeing people hitting the 60-week mark, and it's leading to trouble if you're not to where you want to be with your health goals. And many of you are, and I'm so incredibly happy for you. It makes my heart go pitter patter. But for me, having been on the highest dose and knowing that for at least till 2026, we're not going to see, I did an update to my previous video on retatrutide and cagrilintide. They're the upcoming bigger, heavier hitting, higher than Zepbound 15 milligram medications for GLP-1 medications. Those we won't see in marketplace probably until 2026. So getting our expectations is it's going to be at least probably another year. So for me, it's already been a year, probably going to be another second full year before having a higher dose, which the higher dose would help alleviate this problem, to be clear. But we're not there. That's not where we are right now. Like, taking into facts, we're not there yet. So changing food and workouts, it's harder. It is harder. And so editing my expectations, that I've got to work on that. And I did what, and I was going to say, I wish I had worked on it earlier. I did. I really have worked the hardest on this, but because I've had the opportunity to, because of GLP-1 medication, knowing that I have a GLP-1 deficiency in my body, and that this simple little injection, using a little plunger, can completely change the course of my life, and being able to go horseback riding and wear tights and wear dresses and buckle airline safety belts without having complete panic attack of, is it going to clip and am I going to need extra like reinforcement on the seatbelt, going on roller coasters and all this cool stuff as a result of GLP-1 medication is absolutely amazing. But that 60-week mark, am I setting myself up for success to hit that? Now, here's my next question, is we've seen it at the 60-week mark. Here's where I wonder is there another, quote, 60-week mark? I have been on the medication now for 2 years. We don't know, because we don't have long-term, this is all like for long-term studies for medications like these. GLP-1 medications have been around for a while, since 2015. But in terms of like the dosing in which we have right now, currently as it stands, is there another secondary plateau? So we see that plateau at the 60-week mark, 14 months. Is there a secondary one is my next question. Tell me in the comments below. I'm dying to know, because the Countess of Shopping, we have one of the largest, best, smartest, funnest communities. I love you guys so super much, and you guys are super vocal too with your experience. If you are like me, it's been 2 years. I feel like there was another layer after this. Either I'm hit it or I'm around it. I haven't hit my weight loss goals yet. I'm still just not there yet. And so is there a secondary one to this? Being on this medication for so long, which actually has me thinking of, maybe I should stop the medication. Maybe I should do a hard stop to have a reset. Many of you have said that that didn't fare well for you. And the data has shown also that it's not the same level of appetite suppression. Preliminary. There's still, like I said, this is like preliminary. There's no tried and true stuff for this. So if you want concrete facts, I'm sorry to tell you, boo-boo, we don't have those yet. We are all kind of figuring this out as we go. And if you do have hardcore scientific, you guys know I'm like, I want to be factually accurate. To me, that matters so much, which is why I cite my sources down below and all the stuff that I do. And on countessofshopping.com, while we have other encouragement sources for you too. So make sure you take advantage of all of those free resources, particularly if you're just starting. or if you want the encouragement of like thousands of other cool people doing this as well, to help encourage on the weight loss. For me, at this 60-week mark, this is just as much mental as it is the physical component of it, of literally on a daily basis. Today, it was a very conscious choice. I literally just went to go pick up food. My family's out. They all went rock climbing. I still have pneumonia, so I can't, like, I don't really want to be out and about. I'm like tired. I can't really walk my dogs. I can't do any physical exercise really. So I went to go get food, and it was a very conscious choice of, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? Am I eating high protein? Am I eating fruits and vegetables, nutrient dense foods? And so that's where changing our expectations, I feel, is so important. I feel like if I had armed myself knowing that, okay, approximately, because everybody's body's different, but approximately at that 14-month mark, things going to change for me. I better kick it in gear. If I had known at like the 6-month mark or the 7-month mark that was coming, and that I was getting like at the 7-month mark, I'm halfway to 14 months. You best get it in gear before you're going to have this plateauing effect occur. Data-wise, not for everybody, but I have to keep saying that, but across the board, there's this plateauing. I probably would have activate protein differently. I would have done things, perhaps, I mean, coulda, shoulda, would have. I feel like I did the best I can with the information that I had, but knowing that now that we know this, we can do better. We can do better and make these physical lifestyle changes, because I do see, not that everybody, and by the way, I don't, like, who am I to judge? Like, who am I at all? Like, I'm not, like, I hope that I'm one of the least judgmental people. I aspire to be that. It's not to be judgy. I certainly am a human being and definitely do. But going back to, I pay out of pocket thousands of dollars a year for this medication. Am I utilizing it to my best benefit to maximize me? And knowing in the future, I'm not on maintenance yet. Maintenance is going to look different for everybody. They're still figuring out maintenance. They're still testing maintenance. They're still figuring out, do you do your shot every 10 days? Do you do a lower dose? Data-wise, people are finding that it's better to do probably more of like an every 10-day, every 2-week shot for people on maintenance. But I'm not there yet. Oh, gosh, I aspire to be there so much. But I know I'm like clawing, gripping, fighting to get to that point of where I will be. And with my calorie deficit, focusing in on that on a daily conscious choice. Because now it's not, I don't have the luxury of being like, oh, there's so much appetite suppression. I mean, except with pneumonia, literally I had that because I couldn't eat. Like, it was literally, that was gnarly, by the way. But I don't have that luxury of what I had at the beginning. And so knowing that if you are just starting this medication, it is a gift, it is a gift, it is a gift, it is a gift. I wish I could go back to that level of appetite suppression, because then I would really hone in and work on making choices to learn about protein and how that interacts with my body, and muscle mass loss, and the satiety factor of it, of being so full with protein. Now, taking a right-hand turn, one of the things I thought about is bariatric surgery in conjunction with GLP-1 medication. And I'm holding off. I've said this before. I haven't had bariatric surgery. I went to go before COVID. So that was like 6 years ago, to have a consult. And it just wasn't for me. I didn't feel in my heart that I wanted to do surgery as an option. But I'm like, not that I'm there, but I'm like, I wonder if in the future, if that is, I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. I'm ready to get, like I said, I still have how many, I was over 300 pounds starting this medication. And so now I'm under 200 pounds, which to have a 1 in the front of my weight is like crazy, like total crazy bird to me. But I'm still not to where I need to be, which is nuts, by the way, because I feel like I've done so much work, and I'm going to continue to do the work. I'm going to continue to, like, having this whole pneumonia thing, no joke. Of like, I don't want to be frail when I'm older. I want to be able to be self-independent. I don't want to be an old frail person. And it scared me literally so much. It scared the dickens out of me. Look at that muscle. I'm like, yeah, baby, let's get more muscle in there. It scared the dickens into me to really activate working out and lifting 3 times a week. Am I lifting 3 times a week? No. Do I have a lifting coach? Yeah. Am I doing, prior to my pneumonia, was I working out 3 times a week? It was like 2. Really, that's something I'm committed to. Like, why am I not doing that? Why am I letting old habits kick in when I know better? And when you know better, you do better. And so, in the words of Miss Oprah Winfrey, I'm going to do better. And making, it all starts though with literally the fork. Isn't that like 80% of this? And so I do have appetite suppression, maximizing that, on my shot day, the first 3 days. really harnessing that in. It's not crazy appetite suppression. And basically for me, by day 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm back to full appetite. So then it's really my mindset. And so knowing that that is the cadence and rhythm in which it is to be able to change the way my body is, I got to get on it. I got to get on it because retatrutide and cagrilintide are not coming out anytime soon. We got another year on that baby. 2026. That's a while. And that's a while. Also, that's a gift. Like, this is a gift that I'm still on GLP-1 medication, that I've been on it now for the last 2 years. All of that I fully recognize. Like, there's so much gratitude of what a gift that is. But fully recognizing, I got to do my part. I got to do my part because that 60-week mark, and I question, and I'm curious your opinion, if there is a secondary to that too. And this is the other counterpoint to that I want to throw out there as well for other people like me on the highest possible medication dose. When I do get on cagrilintide or retatrutide, because best believe I'll be the first one in line when they do come out. When I do get on those medications, it's going to have the same 60-week probably, right? It's not going to be the same. And one of you other beautiful souls said in my last video, which is why I wanted to do the part 2 follow-up to this video, you said you don't have virgin cells like you did before, and that your body's not going to react the same way, probably. And this person was right. If that was you, bless you, by the way. I had not thought about that. I'm like, I did not think about that at all. And you're right, they're not, quote, virgin cells in terms of the reaction with GLP-1 medication. So, I find that fascinating. And somebody else said another comment too that I wanted to follow up. I don't know if I agree with it or not, but I want to throw it out there because I thought it was interesting. I had said in my previous video, the part 1 of this, which check out the playlist down below to see it. I had said, well, when people say to get off medication, like GLP-1 medication, it's akin to having high blood pressure. So saying, why would you tell somebody to get off blood pressure medication? Why would you tell a type 1 diabetic to get off insulin when, like, they're dependent on those things for the genetic precursors for it or whatever, predisposition for it? And so the person said, Elizabeth, I challenge you to look at GLP-1 medication as a supplement and not as a blood pressure medication or like a type 1 diabetic type thing, to revamp looking at it as a supplement versus being the medication. It's a medication, obviously, but the point that they're trying to make is like as an addition, not as the end all be all. I said, that's an interesting reframe. I'm going to have to repeat that for other people because maybe that's helpful for you. For me, it was. I was like, that is a really smart way of looking at this. I had not thought about that way. So thank you. If that was you, I'm pondering that. I'm still pondering that. The whole ball of wax of this video is not to be henny penny. We are not sky is falling kind of people. We are action oriented and solution oriented folks. And so I want to stay on that, of that we're not worrying if you're not yet to that 60 week mark or 14-month mark, to not be afraid of it, but to be aware so you can properly plan. Because if you have the proper planning with this, I wish I did. I did not. And I'm so grateful that I was one of the first people to leap into this pond and be like, I don't care if I get 5 heads. It's better than me sitting being obese over 300 pounds, literally hearing my arteries harden as we go. And now having the opportunity to grab life by the cojones and go work, 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 work. And the words of Miss Brittany Jean Spears, you better work. So like, let's get it together here. Let's do the dang thing. And it's literally now a mental mindset component, which is why I say assemble your Avengers team at the beginning of having the mindset component, having all of these different people in seats for your Avengers team to help you and to help me with the food component. I don't know what I'm doing, which is why I hired a dietitian to help me, who has master's degree in nutrition, to help me figure out nutrition components. I don't know. I feel like I really know now and feel really good on that. Hiring a strength training coach. I don't know how to do this. Hiring somebody who does, like hiring all these different people to help me. And if you can't hire people, I fully understand that's a privilege as well. Then using YouTube as a free resource. You guys asked me about like wall Pilates and things like that, how I started Pilates. I've not been into Pilates in so long. Part of it was just driving over there, but I really would like to get back into once a week. I'm going to try when I go to church to try to start weaving that in if I can. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But with the whole pneumonia thing, I just want to get back to walking my dogs. I just want to even get back into walking my dogs. I hope that this video has, one, given you things to talk to your healthcare provider about, because I am not one. This is never medical advice. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. 2, I hope it's motivated you to take stock and accountability of, okay, what have I done well? Because hopefully in this video, you've heard me say things that I've done well. And then also things that I can work on, right? Like it's two-pronged approach. We're taking an inventory. When we do inventory, we don't just take the negatives. We take both the positives and the things we need to work on. So hopefully you've gotten that out of this. And then number 3, your action item. What are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? What are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me in the comments down below. Our emoji of the day is going to be a frog. I don't know why I said frog. I've been watching the Welsh 5 on TikTok. Have you guys seen the Welsh 5 at all? And she says, frig frog, and it cracks me up and it makes me think of a frog. So frog is our emoji of the day. It tells me that you made it this far in the video. And when I see the emoji of the day, I will pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thoughts. But a couple of things. If you guys want my Amazon shopping list, I will link that down below. It has my favorite sneakers on there, the best travel containers for Zepbound. It has my favorite neck creams on there. Like it has everything. And I'm the Countess of shopping, so I test a bunch of stuff for you guys to tell you my favorites. That's linked down below. And also my favorite collagens. I have 2. One is the fruity kind and one is my my coffees. I'm obsessed with Bioptimizers. Use the discount code QUEEN. And then also Clean Simple Eats, their fruity ones. Use the discount code QUEEN for those too. I love their collagen. Clean Simple Eats just sent me their new collagen to try. It was so sweet. It's a cherry one. So I'll be trying that later today as well. My beautiful friends, and I'll also link down below all the free, like the free group, countessofshopping.com, all of the articles I'm citing, and countessofshopping.com hopefully will be your daily source of encouragement for reading, in addition to like the daily videos here, but also we're really beefing that up, the Count and I are, which is exciting. So my beautiful friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Don't forget to share this video as well. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Click like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Love you.